Listen closely, my dear friends. The moment a confrontation begins, most people lose. Not the argument, but themselves. Their heart races, their voice rises, their thinking narrows, and they hand control of the entire situation to whoever is angriest in the room. But there's a certain kind of person who does the opposite. When the tension rises, they get calmer. When voices climb, theirs stays low. When everyone else is losing their composure, they keep theirs. And without raising their voice or throwing a single sharp word, they end up completely in control of the confrontation. You felt the power of that person. It's unsettling, magnetic, and almost impossible to beat. That calm is not a personality trait they were lucky to be born with. It's a Stoic secret, a way of meeting conflict that the Stoics mastered 2,000 years ago, and that you can master too. Marcus Aurelius faced hostility and betrayal and stayed composed. Epictetus understood exactly why most people crack under confrontation and how not to. In the next 20 minutes, I'll give you that secret, piece by piece, so you can stay calm, grounded, and in control in any confrontation you ever face. Let's begin. Here's the first thing to understand about confrontation, the thing that changes how you'll approach every conflict for the rest of your life. In any confrontation, the calmest person is the most powerful one. We assume the winner of a confrontation is the loudest, the most aggressive, the one who dominates. But watch closely and you'll see the opposite is true. The person who loses their composure has already lost control of themselves and therefore of the situation. Their anger makes them predictable, reactive, easy to provoke, and easy to beat. The Stoics understood that self-command is the root of all real power, and that in the heat of conflict, the one who governs themselves governs the room. This is the secret hiding in plain sight. You don't win a confrontation by overpowering the other person. You win it by never losing yourself. When you stay calm while they escalate, you hold a position they cannot reach, and everything that follows becomes yours to shape. So let's break down exactly how to keep that calm, starting with the mindset that makes it possible. The first principle is the foundation of the whole Stoic secret. In a confrontation, your calm is not weakness. It is your greatest weapon. Most people, when confronted, feel that staying calm means backing down, and that strength means matching the aggression. It's exactly backwards. Anyone can lose their temper. That's the easy, automatic thing. Staying composed while someone tries to rattle you is the hard thing, and therefore the powerful thing. The Stoics prized this above almost everything, the ability to remain steady when others could not. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to meet hostility with an unshaken mind, knowing that his composure was a strength no attack could take. Understand what your calm actually does in a confrontation. It keeps your mind clear while theirs is clouded by emotion. It makes you unpredictable and unshakable, and it quietly signals a strength that unsettles the other person far more than any shouting could, because they can see they're not reaching you. The calm person in a conflict always seems to have the upper hand because in the deepest sense, they do. So, reframe your calm entirely. It is not you losing, it is you winning. When a confrontation begins, your first job is not to defend or attack. It's to hold your composure, because that composure is your power. Everything else flows from it, and the next principle tells you what to do with their energy. The second principle is the most practical move in any confrontation. Refuse to match the other person's energy. When someone comes at you hot, Loud, aggressive, escalating. Every instinct pulls you to match them, to meet fire with fire. But that's exactly the trap. When you match their energy, you both spiral upward together, and the confrontation becomes a contest of who can lose control most impressively. The Stoics understood that you are not obligated to accept the emotional state someone hands you. You can decline it, you can meet their heat with your calm, and in doing so, refuse to let the confrontation become what they're trying to make it. Here's the remarkable thing that happens when you don't match their energy. You become the thermostat, not the thermometer. Instead of rising to their temperature, you lower theirs to yours. It's very hard for someone to keep screaming at a person who stays quietly, genuinely calm. Their own aggression starts to feel absurd even to them. Your steadiness de-escalates the entire situation, not by fighting it, but by simply refusing to feed it. So when someone brings heat, bring calm. When they speed up, slow down. When they get louder, get quieter. Do not accept the energy they're offering. Set the temperature of the room yourself, and watch how quickly the confrontation cools. And the next principle keeps you focused on the only thing you can actually control. The third principle frees you from a fight you can't win. Stop trying to control the other person and control the one thing you can, yourself. In the middle of a confrontation, we exhaust ourselves trying to control the uncontrollable, trying to make the other person calm down, see reason, admit they're wrong, or behave differently. But you cannot control another person's behavior, and trying to only frustrates you and escalates things. Epictetus taught the clean division at the heart of Stoicism. Your actions and reactions are yours, and another person's are not. And in a confrontation, that means the only thing actually in your power is how you conduct yourself. When you let go of controlling them and focus entirely on governing yourself, a strange calm settles over you. You stop being frustrated by their behavior because you've accepted it's not yours to command. You put all your energy into the one place it works, your own composure, your own words, your own choices. And paradoxically, the person who has mastered themselves often ends up influencing the other person far more than the one who's desperately trying to control them. So in any confrontation, ask only, am I conducting myself well? Not how do I make them stop, but how do I keep myself steady? Release the other person's behavior as beyond your control and pour your focus into your own. That shift alone will keep you calm when nothing else does, and the next principle gives you the space to do it. The fourth principle is the physical skill that makes all the others possible. Put a pause between what they do and how you respond. Confrontations are lost in the instant reaction, the sharp reply that escalates, the angry word you can't take back, the defensive snap that hands them exactly what they wanted. Epictetus taught that it's not the event but your reaction to it that does the damage, and that between the two there is a space where your power lives. In a confrontation, that space is a pause, even a single breath before you respond. It feels like nothing, but it changes everything. In that pause, the first surge of anger crests and begins to fall. In it, your thinking clears enough to choose a response instead of firing off the automatic one. In it, you remember who you want to be. The person who can pause for one breath in the heat of confrontation has already separated themselves from everyone who reacts on impulse. And that small gap is the difference between control and chaos. So, train the pause. When something lands in a confrontation, don't answer immediately. Take one slow breath. Let the reaction rise without obeying it. Then respond calmly and deliberately, from a clear mind rather than a hot one. That single second of delay is the whole secret in miniature. And the next principle makes the calm visible in your body. The fifth principle turns your calm into something the other person can feel. Control your body, and your body will control the room. Your inner state and your physical state are a loop. When you're agitated, your voice rises and your movements quicken, and that physical agitation feeds your emotional agitation right back. The Stoics understood that inner calm shows itself in outer stillness, and the reverse is also true. You can steady your mind by first steadying your body. In a confrontation, this is a practical weapon. Deliberately lower your voice, slow your speech, relax your posture, keep your movements calm and unhurried. This does two powerful things at once. First, it calms you. A slow voice and a still body send a signal back to your own nervous system that there is no emergency, and your emotions follow. Second, it calms them. Nothing de-escalates an aggressive person faster than a target who is visibly, physically unbothered. When they're loud and you're quiet, when they're fast and you're slow, the contrast makes their agitation obvious and your control undeniable. So in any confrontation, use your body. Lower your voice below theirs. Slow everything down. Unclench, breathe, and hold a calm stillness. Let your physical composure lead your emotional composure, and let both quietly take command of the room. And the next principle removes the sting from their words entirely. The sixth principle protects you from the wound that makes people lose control. Stop taking the confrontation personally. Most of the heat you feel in a confrontation comes from taking it as a personal attack, feeling insulted, disrespected, diminished. But the Stoics understood that a person's aggression usually says far more about them than about you. People who attack, provoke, and lash out are typically acting from their own pain, insecurity, or lack of control. A person at peace with themselves doesn't need to come at anyone. Marcus Aurelius met difficult people by remembering they acted from their own ignorance and unrest, which was more to be pitied than resented. When you stop taking it personally, the confrontation stops being able to reach you. Their insult becomes a window into their state rather than a verdict on your worth. You can hear the aggression and remain unmoved because you understand it's their storm, not yours. You won't have to pick it up and carry it. And it's very hard to lose your composure over an attack you no longer experience as being truly about you. So in the heat of it, shift your view. This is about what's happening inside them, not about me. Let their words reveal their turmoil rather than wound your pride. That detachment is what lets the calm person stay calm, while everyone else takes the bait. And the final principle frees you from needing to win at all. The seventh principle is the release that makes true calm possible. Let go of the need to win the confrontation. So much of our agitation in conflict comes from the ego's demand to win, to prove our point, to get the last word, to not back down. But this need is a trap because it ties your peace to an outcome the other person can deny you, and it keeps you fighting long past the point of sense. The Stoics valued wisdom over winning. They understood that the compulsion to be right and to dominate is a kind of weakness, not strength. Marcus Aurelius cared about truth, not about defeating people in argument. When you release the need to win, an enormous calm becomes available to you. You can let a pointless argument go. You can say, you might be right without feeling you've lost anything. You can walk away from a confrontation that isn't worth your energy, unbothered, because your peace was never staked on beating them. And often, the person who can calmly disengage, who doesn't need the last word, is the one who actually comes out ahead, precisely because they didn't need to. So loosen the grip of winning. Ask whether this confrontation is even worth engaging, and if it's not, let it go without a backward glance. Value your peace over your pride, and understanding over victory. Sometimes the strongest, calmest thing you can do is simply walk away, and that freedom from the need to win is the last piece of the Stoic secret. Stay calm in any confrontation. Here's the secret. Whole. Your composure is your power. Never match their energy. Control your reaction, not the other person. Use the pause. Lower your voice and slow your body. Don't take it personally. And release the need to win. See what runs through all of it. In every confrontation, the real contest is not between you and the other person. It's between you and your own reaction. The person who loses their composure loses control, and the person who keeps it holds all the power without ever raising their voice. That's the secret the Stoics understood. You don't dominate a confrontation by overpowering the other person. You master it by mastering yourself. You won't get this perfect overnight. Take one principle into your next difficult conversation and practice it. Then add another. Slowly, the confrontations that used to rattle you will find you calm, steady, and quietly in control, while the other person wonders why they can't seem to reach you. The next time tension rises and someone comes at you, remember, the calmest person in the room is the strongest. Be that person. If this resonated, subscribe, and come back next time when we look at the Stoic art of staying unshaken through anything life brings. Until then, stay calm and stay in control.